one more time. It's live, and it's in the interest of the people. They're going to make you laugh, and they'll even make you mad enough to chew nails. Either way, they have you tuned in. So sit back in that easy chair and get close to a phone, because you can call and talk to them. You better get you something to drink, because you may need it also. Take it away, guys.
Don't you dare change that dial. We're here tonight and we have one of the most exciting guests we've ever had, one that I admire so much. Dr. Mascia from AIDB is going to be here and tell us a lot of new things. So let's get on with it.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Did you leave your horse outside? I see you got your riding jacket on.
Yeah.
You got your boots on?
Actually, I'm going to have a new horsey.
Welcome in, folks. It is a good night, good program. We are honored to have Dr. Mascia with us, President of AIDB, our largest employer in the city, and second largest, I guess, in the county. We will be talking with Dr. Mascia in just a little bit. And some point in time, if time permits, Jeff and Jim Bob, we will take your phone calls.
Yeah.
And anyone else that wants to call in with a comment, or we're not taking any complaints. The complaints are all saved from me. The negative and the bad mouthing, that's for me.
Oh, well,
nobody
give me
else.
that pen.
I can handle it. But we appreciate our sponsors. We might mention that CG's will be open all day tomorrow, starting about 6 o'clock in the morning until about 11 o'clock tomorrow night. If you need any eggnog, a lot of egg, little nog, or whatever. Anything you could possibly need in the line of soft drinks or whatever, CG's will be there all day tomorrow. Rehab First. We've shared with you so many times about Rehab First in Gaston, Rehab First at McGuffey Healthcare, any kind of rehab you could possibly need. They have it for you. They're open 7 days a week, administrator on duty 7 days a week, 24-hour RN coverage, wound care certified staff, hospice care, any kind of service you could possibly need in the line of rehab. Rehab First has it for you. They also have long-term care if you got someone that needs maybe it's dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever you're needing long-term care. They have a unit there that's second to none. We'll be talking more about that in just a little bit. Appreciate them. The Stampede Restaurant, we were there today, and Brandon said, please share with the folks and let me apologize that yesterday on Saturday, they had a shower for a new baby and had a big crowd. And then last night they had a party of 40 that came in. And he said they were pretty busy. Then all of a sudden, normally Saturday night doesn't get that swamped with customers. But he said all of a sudden, they started coming in. And pretty soon he was out of space.
That's a good problem.
Well, it's a good problem to have for the restaurant to, people are coming and eating with you, and we always say it's one of the best places in town to eat. They got any kind of food you could possibly need. They're well prepared and they know how to take care of you. But he apologized that some of you were inconvenienced because of the crowd, and some of you had to leave because you couldn't get in. I never thought I'd see a day in Talladega when you'd have to be turned away from a restaurant because of the large number in attendance. But Brandon and Kayla is there, and all the staff, they do a great job 7 days a week, 24 hours, not 24 hours a day, almost. About 11 in the morning, I think, until late 9 o'clock at night.
It probably feels like 24 to them.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. But we appreciate them. Ryan Hall, and you got a list of birthdays right there. We'll get that out of the way. But Ryan Hall is having a birthday. He is the owner of Pop the Top Soda Shop.
Oh, yes.
And we had several calls this week, or last week now, that said, is Pop the Top Soda Shop going out of business? So I asked Ryan. He said, no. We were closed a couple of days because of all the real cold weather. Now, a lot of people eat ice cream in 10-degree weather. And he said, we did close down for a couple of days, but we're open. We're there 7 days a week, and they're going to be having another line of food and drinks for the cold weather. We'll be talking about that a little later on. You want to get the birthdays out of the way?
I might get part of them, maybe. Donna King, Sheila Cornelius, Tim Burke, Dee Dee Rafford, Cindy Sullivan Taylor, Willie Jemison, John
Spain.
Oh, John Spain. Mighty Dawn Crawford. Misty. I can't read your writing.
I write close to the page.
You sure do. Hope. You can't read
Daniel.
Hope
and that's Barbara Morris right above there. You missed her.
I missed her. Okay. Amber Haynes Waits, James Waits, Priscilla Pope Arnold, Dixon Hayes, Laura Ann Ingram. Hey, Laura Ann. Ryan Hall, Kelly Hutto Gilmore, Shirley Williams, Sharia Love, Catherine Thrasher Easterwood, Rusty Reynolds.
A lot of people don't like it because we announce birthdays. They say, you're taking up a good time. It may not be important to you, but it's important to that person having a birthday.
It's their birthday.
Happy birthday, folks.
Happy
And if I could
birthday.
sing, I'd sing happy birthday. You want to sing?
You can sing. Sing a chorus.
No, no.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day all over the world. And the Red Hat, Digger Red Hatters will be having a parade, helping with the parade tomorrow. Mm-hmm. My good friend, Miss Carleva Widget, I got a nice letter from her, and she says each year the vivacious Digger Red Hatters host the Dr. Martin Luther King Parade. King has been instrumental in bringing about peace on earth in an effort to bring equality to those who were enslaved by society. He goes on to say he was a man of God and he fought for equality, justice, and freedom of all through peaceful coalition. And this parade will be tomorrow starting at noon, high noon. The parade will be held Monday, January the 19th. The lineup will be at the old Save-A-Lot parking lot. That's up at the east end of Battle Street. And if you want to be in it, you still can. It's a $10 donation to be in the parade. And they're asking everyone that would like to be in the parade to show up tomorrow. Just bring $10 and get in the parade. And if you can, go out and be a part of the Red Hatters, Digger Red Hatters. And if you've never seen these ladies dressed up in their attire and wear these red hats, it's something to see.
Yes, it is.
Also, Miss Betty Pugh brought me an announcement here. It said the Unity Breakfast will be held Monday, January the 19th at 8 a.m. at the Greater Ebenezer Baptist Church. This is 601 Scott Street, Tyler, Alabama. Reverend Anthony G. McKinney is the pastor. The speaker for the occasion will be Dr. Randy B. Kelly, pastor of Good Sale United Methodist Church in Lynette, Alabama, and Powell Chapel United Methodist Church in Lafayette, Alabama. That's the Unity Breakfast at the Greater Ebenezer Baptist Church tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. And so we're in the east side of town. Unity Breakfast. If you can, go on out and be a part of this breakfast, parade, and a day of celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Mr. Engineer, I'm not sure if this motorcycle is too little for the woman or the woman's too big for the motorcycle. Can we show that right quick?
Oh, my goodness.
I may have caught him off guard in there. There it is.
Oh.
I'm not sure where she's too big for that little cycle or that cycle's too little for her.
Well, I'm worried about the patient, the person up front.
I hope they don't hit anybody.
Good Lord.
Anyhow, and we have another picture of this lady
Say a word.
shoplifting. I can understand people stealing food if they're hungry, and maybe deodorant if they stink. Mm-hmm. But speaking of stinking, there was a little boy. Okay, hold it just a minute. There was a boy in a barbershop Saturday, and we was picking him, 4 years old, and he did not stop talking nonstop. I mean, motor mouth. And I asked him, I said, "You got a girlfriend?" He said, "Yeah, but I'm fixing to swap her off." I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "She stinks." He said, "She sits right beside me and she stinks, so I'm gonna get me a new girlfriend." But I can understand if you need to steal deodorant, if you don't have any money, or food. But we want to show you this lady that just had to have a TV set. Bring it on. Watch this close, folks. Picks up the TV set. I don't believe she's from Talladega. I mean, I don't believe, we've got some shoplifters in town. I'm not sure they're that experts on. All right.
I believe I'd go for the bicycle.
I don't believe she get a bicycle on there. Oh, you're talking about riding a bicycle?
Ride it out.
We got to go to break. Be right back with Dr. Mascia.
We need it.
Planning a get-together, sporting event, or special occasion, let CG's help make the event more enjoyable. CG's can advise you on a favorite champagne or special wine imported from all over the world, as well as from New York and California. Perhaps you'd rather choose a muscadine wine from Alabama. CG's also has a nice selection of the latest in stemless wine glasses or champagne and water glasses. Only at CG's can you obtain your favorite imported beer, party supplies, mixes, and a variety of nuts. By the way, don't forget a gift for your favorite hostess. Visit CG's, conveniently located in Talladega at the corner of Howard and West.
A death is a troubling time for any family. Talladega Funeral Home offers dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness to all families in need. We listen carefully. We know that some of us find great comfort in traditions, and we work tirelessly to honor those traditions. Our professional team gets to know each and every family member to help each and every individual remember, share, and ultimately move towards healing. Contact Brittany Boozer at Talladega Funeral Home today, 256-362-0111. Talladega Funeral Home. We care because every life has a story.
Have you tried one of these? It's so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that.
Want a bite? You're aging. Do the jingle. Do the jingle.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, guys.
Do it again, do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Don't worry about those guys.
If we could just get Doug Kemp in the back seat of that car and come
That'd
up.
be great. Come on, Doug.
Mayor and I have been doing business with Doug Kemp or his dad for many, well, since '56 when we got married. And we appreciate all the service we've had through the years, car insurance, house insurance, life insurance, anything I guess that we could possibly need or want. Mm-hmm. And I know Charlotte does business with Doug, and she would not change because they got her number, and they call sometime and remind her they're still in business in town.
That's right. They do.
But anyway,
appreciate it,
one other thing, if we can list the R.L. Young School, can we show it on the screen? The principal, Miss Patty Thomas, Haynes Thomas, is asking for support for her school. They've got an auditorium area there that's second to none, but the curtains have rotted in the auditorium. And she's asking all the Beamiston folks through the years that have either gone to school there or your young'uns or grand-young'uns or great-grand-young'uns, and she's asking you for a donation. Anything is appreciated, but some of us, Mayor and I have already given a contribution, some other folks have. They're tax deductible. So if you would and you want to contribute to Patty and the R.L. Young School, contact her at Beamiston. I know she would appreciate it, and it's going for a good cause. Okay, before we let Charlotte have her say, we don't let her talk much, folks.
I hear from them too.
James Anderson, who keeps us on internet all over the world, gave me a list recently and said we've been in 194 documented countries. That's unreal, folks. And you say, I don't believe that. Well, I don't care whether you believe it or not. Here it is in writing.
Right.
We don't know who watches from wherever they watch, but he's listed the names of the countries that has picked us up from time to time. And any of you folks that's watching us from Japan or Egypt or Iraq or Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Chile, any of these countries, if you're watching tonight and you want to call us or you want to, well, we don't have email here at the station tonight, but give us a call and let us know what you think about the program. We'd be glad to have you tune in. I know that we're going to show just a little bit. Dr. Mascia has got a former student that's teaching in Japan, teaching the deaf in Japan sign language. We'll be showing that in just a little bit. So we're just honored that we've been in 194 countries. This is Jordan, Kosovo, Costa Rica, St. Croix. It's unreal. It's anyway. We appreciate James Anderson and what he does to keep us on the air. Miss Charlotte, it's all yours.
Thank you. I would have to say that some time ago I've realized that Talladega is a very special place. And I couldn't put my finger on it, but after getting to know Dr. Mascia and what I've learned, what he does and what's happening at AIDB, that I really believe that AIDB is what makes Talladega special. Dr. Mascia.
It's good to have you, Dr. Mascia.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I thought first of all, when he came in, she said, "Hey, you Dr. Mafia." I said, his name is not Mafia, Charlotte. He's from New York, but he's not Mafia.
That's just
it's
my
Mascia.
Southern accent.
Well,
good to have you with us.
It's great to be here in Charlotte. I know that there's a family watching this program, my family, and my 17-year-old son and daughter Annie are laughing because you said that you have an exciting guest tonight.
Oh.
And I know
You
they're
are
home laughing.
exciting.
Little Annie told me at lunch today that I speak in a very monotone way, and I have to try to perk myself up a little bit, so I'm going to do my best tonight.
Well, I'm blessed to know you.
If I had introduced him, folks, I was going to say that AIDB through the years has been challenged to teach the blind, the deaf, the multi-handicap, and they've done an extra good job, and they've always been successful. But about 2 years ago or thereabouts, they had a special person come in, and they have had to work untiringly to get this man to learn redneck Alabama English. He's from New York, folks. And the first time I met him, I had to have an interpreter to tell me what he was saying. No, it's not quite that bad.
I think
Everybody rags you about your New York accent.
Everybody does, and you know, folks in Talladega really are terrific, and the people
Yes,
at AIDB are
Yes,
terrific.
they are.
We have a wonderful staff, and you know, we were speaking earlier. We try to have fun, and part of having fun is, you know, poking fun at me and my speech. And Terry Graham, the previous president, likes to say that one of his biggest failures was my speech. He was a speech pathologist by training, and he tried so hard to teach me how to speak the right way, and this is about as far as he was able to take me.
But you've done a good job. You've learned to say y'all and ain't.
Yeah.
And
That's right. I can
and you'unses and
I
y'all.
can say all and all y'all, and you know, we're joking. I'm American, but I'm Italian American. My father is actually first generation. His parents were born in Italy, and so every once in a while I'll throw out an Italian word. And some folks teach me some words like cattywampus. I didn't know what cattywampus meant, and I taught them a word, stramenza. S-T-R-A-M-E-N-Z-A. And now we have all of AIDB using the word stramenza, and it means a big problem.
I like that one.
Well, Dr. Mascia, it's, of course, I've been here all my life, and I share with folks many, many times, everyone in Talladega knows about AIDB. The campus is there, the buildings are there, but I wonder how many of our folks really understand and really know what goes on behind the walls. And that's one reason I've asked Dr. Mascia to be here. From time to time we have different students on here, or people that graduate from down there, and workers and so forth. We had Jeff Lang on here, we have Jim Bob on here. We've had so many on here through the years. Mr. And different folks have been on here from time to time. Mr. Willie Farrier was a supervisor at AIB for many years. And we try to promote AIDB as much as we can, because it's very much part of our city.
Very much.
AIDB, Talladega College, so many entities are making Talladega what it is. Everybody knows about the Speedway, and that's great. But there's a lot of other things in the mix that make us such a great community. Dr. Mascia, if you will just take a couple of moments, and I know you said you're folks from Italy. Let's talk about you a little bit. A lot of people don't know who you are other than you're Dr. Mascia and you're the president. Let's talk about who you are and where you've been and how you got to Talladega.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I want to do this as fast as I can so we can talk about AIDB and the terrific people that work there and the terrific people that we serve. But I grew up on Long Island, a little town called Belmore, and lived there my whole life, and went to a college. The name of the college was Hofstra. It's actually a university, Hofstra University, and I majored in speech pathology and then audiology. And to be very honest with you, I really didn't know what I wanted to do the first couple of years. And my dad, who was an old educator, said, you know, you really need an A, so maybe you should take a speech class or a sign language class. And I did. I took a sign language class. And to make a long story short, in that class there was a field trip. And the field trip was to the Helen Keller National Center. It's a center on Long Island, in Sands Point, Long Island, and that center serves individuals who are deaf-blind. They have deafness and blindness. And when I went, I met a gentleman. His name was Robert Smithis, and he really did change me. He was the second person after Helen Keller, second American, to be completely deaf and completely blind and receive a bachelor's degree, and actually the first person to receive a master's degree. And when I met him, he was so extraordinarily ordinary. He walked into the room, and I knew maybe 4 or 5 signs at the time, and he walked into the room. He had his cane in one hand and a bag of peanuts in the other hand. And he walked into the room, he sat down, and he had some speech. You had to listen real hard to him, but he had some speech. And in his slow speech, he sat down and he said, "Does anybody want a peanut?" And so I raised my hand. I mean, he couldn't see me, but I raised my hand, and somebody told him that I wanted to have a peanut. And he said, "Well, then you're going to have to come and finger spell in my hand who you are."
How about that?
And I did. And he asked me what interests I had, and at the time I had an old 1965 Mustang, and I told him about it, and he said, "Is that a K code?" And for those of you who know Mustangs, a K code is a very, very special engine, and you really have to know something about cars to know that. And I was absolutely amazed that a gentleman who was completely deaf and completely blind would know that. And it made me realize that his deafness and blindness wasn't really what he was about. It was just something that he had, something that he had to manage on a daily basis, but there was so much more to him. And that really put me on a path to have a passion to make sure that folks who are deaf, folks who are blind, folks who are deaf-blind have opportunities to succeed. And then when I found AIDB, it was just a natural to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have been well received since coming here, and the folks in Talladega that knows you and been around you just love you and really appreciate it. I know the staff and all the others up there, they're crazy about you.
Yes.
Well, I'm crazy about them too, and that doesn't mean we always get along, but you know, that's part of being human. And you know, I think the best form of respect is to be able to disagree in a respectful way, and we have a good time most days.
Well, anytime you've got that large employees, that number of employees, and those, how many students you have? About 500 total, 400 total?
A little bit more. We have about 750 people on our campuses at any given time. AIDB serves over 22,000 people statewide. We're a statewide program. So we have those 5 campus programs in Talladega, and of course they're our headquarters and the heart of who we are and what we do. But we also have 8 regional centers around the state, and we serve people from birth to 95 years old.
Wow.
What is the youngest age person you work with? I know Jim Bob said he was up 4 or 5 years of age, I think, when he came from home. He was blind, and he came to the school here. Right.
We'll have children on our campus that are, 3 or 4 years old, in preschool programs, but we serve, we certainly have the kindergarten through 12th grade programs, but we also serve people in our regional centers at birth. Our early intervention programs are an extremely important part of what I call our service delivery continuum, meaning that we serve people at all stages of their life. And that's what makes us special.
Right.
Dr. Mascia, I could understand. I've been involved with the Institute for many years in banking. We set up the Braille accounts years ago when I was in banking. And through the years, I was very acquainted with Dempsey Bird, who was public relations at that time. I cut his hair, and he sang, and I'd play piano when we'd travel and sang Jimmy Jordan and so many others through the years. And I've got a working knowledge of what goes on in the institution. But I understand how you can take a blind person, has no vision, and teach them. I can't think of nothing to be worse in my life than to lose my sight at my age. I don't know if I could cope with it or not, folks. I'm just being honest with you. But I can understand how you can train a person that's blind. I can understand how you can take a deaf person and train them from a little age on up. I can't comprehend how you take a child that's born blind, deaf, and mentally challenged, and how you work with them. And I know how the Helen Keller School in Talladega. Share a little bit. That has to be a challenging program.
Sure. I wish that we had some of our terrific staff here to answer your question, because they do it every day, and they're just very, very special people. I think it starts with expectations. I think you have to believe in your heart that all kids can learn, and we do. We believe that. I believe that. We all believe that. And it really has to do with finding out what folks' God-given strength is. And everybody has a strength. And it makes so much more sense to find what people are naturally able to do and build on those strengths. rather than, try to constantly take something that might be a weakness and try to build upon that. And certainly you need to do that too, but building upon folks' strengths, like music. We've talked about music. If somebody has natural ability in music, build that into their day and then help them learn other things through their music. And so having hands-on activities and trying to make learning functional. If you're going to teach somebody activities of daily living, for instance, waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth and washing your face, it makes so much more sense to do that when you wake up in the morning, when it's part of your day and it's natural to do that, rather than trying to do that in an artificial environment, say in the classroom. So we try to be very functional in our approach, and we try to take what the day gives us and go from there and make learning as natural a process as possible. The way everyone learns, the way I learned and you learned and my children at home learn. They learn by trial and error and by just having activities and experiences, life experiences. And that's what we try to do with somebody who's deafblind.
I have much respect for all teachers throughout the world. They have an awesome job, an awesome responsibility, but I have, I guess, more respect for folks that can take a deafblind, multi-handicapped child and work with it. Well, you have about one teacher for maybe 2 or 3 students, maybe 4.
Right. It really depends upon the classroom. I was in the classroom about 2 weeks ago, and there were 4 children in the classroom, and there were three adults, teacher and aides, and so it was almost a one-on-one. And we, as an institute, need to do whatever it is that the child needs, and if they need a one-on-one, we really need to find a way to do that. And sure, there are funding issues and resource issues and finding teachers that have the expertise, to do this type of work, but we need to find a way to make sure that each child gets the intensive type of teaching and training that they need.
We got to go to a break shortly, and we're going to come back with a short video, about a 3-minute video of some things I think will intrigue you, interest you. But before we do, let me mention that Miss Dean Gallagher, longtime citizen of Talladega. Matter of fact, I think at one time she worked for the Institute. She passed away yesterday. Her funeral will be Monday at 2 p.m. at the Ironicton Church of Christ. And longtime citizen of Talladega, one of the finest ladies, citizen of Talladega. Her son Stan runs the tire place up on North Street, and she and her late husband Hubert Gallagher, they were some of the greatest citizens we've had in Talladega. Fine people, and we offer our condolences to the family. Also, Mr. Michael Elston, funeral will be Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. at Shady Grove Baptist Church up at Munford, and he will be buried in Jennifer Cemetery. Anderson Funeral Home will be handling this funeral due to the fact that he is a relative to some of the folks at Terry's Funeral Home, so they've asked someone else to come and help out. But that's Michael Elston funeral, 11:30 a.m. Tuesday morning at Shady Grove at Munford. Got to go to break and be right back.
Planning a get-together, sporting event, or special occasion, let CG's help make the event more enjoyable. CG's can advise you on a favorite champagne or special wine imported from all over the world, as well as from New York and California. Perhaps you'd rather choose a muscadine wine from Alabama. CG's also has a nice selection of the latest in stemless wine glasses or champagne and water glasses. Only at CG's can you obtain your favorite imported beer, party supplies, mixes, and a variety of nuts. By the way, don't forget a gift for your favorite hostess. Visit CG's, conveniently located in Talladega at the corner of Howard and West.
A death is a troubling time for any family. Talladega Funeral Home offers dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness to all families in need. We listen carefully. We know that some of us find great comfort in traditions, and we work tirelessly to honor those traditions. Our professional team gets to know each and every family member to help each and every individual remember, share, and ultimately move towards healing. Contact Brittany Boozer at Talladega Funeral Home today, 256-362-0111. Talladega Funeral Home. We care because every life has a story.
Oh man, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
Oh man, you gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim.
Amateurs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, Travis.
Well,
a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm here for you, Lonnie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is a new one.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Oh, that was great. I like that.
I wonder if Doug Kemp's got Elvis or had Elvis insured, or his cars, or.
Oh, he needs to give him one of them Elvis suits. That'd be good.
You think Doug would look good in one of them Elvis outfits?
Oh, yeah, he'd be real cute in it.
I'm not sure Doug would be a good singer or a good Elvis impersonator, but he played ball for Georgia. And I've tried to get him on there and talk about it. He said, "Nah, I won't talk about those things." Doug just insures you and keeps you happy with your insurance. And that's good. If you just tuned in, our guest tonight is Dr. John Mascia. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, you are.
And we're just honored to have Dr. Mascia with us. He's the president of AIDB here in Tyler, our largest employer, second largest in the county. We were talking about different things. I would love to have, I don't know if he's got a DVD of how you take the children that come into Helen Keller School from day one and how they work with them through the days and the years. I know they got a group down there that sings, folks, and that'll break your heart. Not because well, when you see them sing, it just pulls at your heartstrings. It's amazing what these teachers can do to these students. And just because some of the folks have a mental challenge or challenge a little bit, they still perform. They can sing, they can play. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing, and I would like to have a DVD and show our people. I know Dr. Erminelle Love Trescott was principal down at Helen Keller for 25, 30 years.
Yes, sir.
Personal friend of ours, and she's retired now. But I don't know, I should know who the principal is now. I don't know.
Her name is Christy Atkinson.
Miss Atkinson.
Miss Atkinson.
But they, folks, I'm telling you, they do an awesome job. Have we got our DVD lined up, folks? Well, Jeff, he'll hold on. We got Jeff holding on the line. Jeff, hang on, boy. We'll be with you in a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead with the DVD.
Hello. I am a champion, and I'll tell you why. AIDB prepared me for my future and the dream I have becoming a teacher. I'm currently doing my teaching internship in Japan. I'm teaching American Sign Language to deaf and hearing Japanese people. Teaching is my passion. That is my future, to become a teacher.
Okay, let's see. The AIDB Regional Center has helped Bentley and myself in so many ways, just giving us resources to things here in Birmingham in ways that we can help bring out her potential and make her a star one day.
I'm Jerome Leader, custodian for my granddaughter Olivia Leader. 13 years ago, when our family enrolled her at Helen Keller School, she was legally blind, in a wheelchair, and nonverbal. Today, at age 18, she is self-sustaining and participates in all school activities. We sincerely thank the AIDB team of champions for doing God's work.
AIDB friends and family. My name is Danny Finley, and I'm the valedictorian of the class 2010. This spring, I will be graduating from Troy University with my Bachelor's of Arts and Science in Criminal Justice. I would like to thank you all for what you've done for me. Everything you've done for me then has made me the champion I am today. One last thing. Go Redskins!
My friend.
We are the champions, and we will keep fighting until the end. We are the champions.
No
Very
doubt.
appropriate song, very, very articulate program. This young man that's teaching in Japan, he graduated from school here.
From the School for the Deaf and went to Gallaudet University. And he's one of the success stories. You know, Larry, you were there during convocation this year. Our theme was championship culture, and something that I think a lot about. You know, we all love football in this state, and we all know what it takes for a football team to be a champion. And I was thinking that those are the same things that you need to do really in your life and at the Institute. And so I really began thinking about what it takes to have a championship culture, because the goal here is for our children to believe in their heart that they're champions, just like the folks that you saw on that video. And we believe they are champions. So we talk to them about what it takes. And you know, it takes believing in yourself. And it takes never ever giving up, never making excuses for mistakes. Lord knows we all make them. And so at the Institute, we've been talking a great deal, staff to staff, staff to students, students to students, about this championship culture and trying to be better every day. You know, sometimes staff get a little upset with me because they feel that I keep trying to push them to the next level, and that maybe I don't really understand or appreciate how great they are. And our staff really is great. But Nick Saban and Gus Malzahn, after they win on Saturday, they're looking at video on Sunday, and they're trying to be better next Saturday. And that's exactly how I feel about AIDB.
Sometimes, regardless how good you are, if you're not careful, you'll become complacent. And you say, well, we did great last week, so we sort of coast. I agree with you. Nick Saban won by 50 points, but someone misses a ball or messes up. He goes down their throat. And they're already leading 50 points. He still jumps down their throat. Hey, you shouldn't have missed that ball. You should have done this.
That's right. And you know, I've been blessed in being able to, in my other job when I worked at the Helen Keller National Center, I got to travel around the country and I visited many, many programs. And so I know how good we are at AIDB. And I think we're the best. But I'm not satisfied. I think we can be even
better
more.
than the best.
I think we can be even more extraordinary. I think that we're that good that we can be even better. And I believe it.
I know, Dr. Mascia, you have a football team, basketball team, wrestling team. Do you have soccer?
We don't have soccer, but our children do play on the Talladega community.
Those are the three programs you have, main program.
Right.
And you're good at it.
They're great
Championship,
at it, Larry.
I know. And I hear guys come to the barbershop in Birmingham sometimes on a wrestling team around the area. And I said, have y'all ever wrestled with AIDB? They said, them boys is tough.
They are. We had a tournament last weekend, and our guys are heading to Macon, Georgia this weekend for a tournament, and I think we're probably going to go and be there. I enjoy watching them. They're tough and they're fun to watch, and I enjoy it. And the cheerleaders are great, and all of the children just try their best. And
they're fantastic. If you've never seen them into the games, I've been up there several times. I don't get to go as much as I would like to between Talladega College and Talladega High and AIDB and everything else. I try to show up much as I can wherever I can. But
right. No, I don't mean to interrupt, but if I don't do this, our folks at ASD will be very, very angry at me. Our boys basketball team last week won a tournament in Arkansas. They were the champions of that tournament. So we're not only great at ASB in wrestling, but we're great at ASD in basketball as well. And at Helen Keller, our children there excel at so many sports and Special Olympics, equestrian. We have a wonderful equestrian program.
Right.
Mariana Green Henry equestrian program.
That on the Sylacauga Highway?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Pat Green, who is a member of our board and is just somebody that has a real heart for that program, and started it many years ago as a tribute to his daughter. And it's just such a terrific program for our kids. And can I tell a quick story about it?
Yes, sir.
I was there, this is probably about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer now, and I was just looking around, and I try to do that, try to spend some time with the kids and the staff. And I went into the arena, and there was this horse, and he was an old and cranky horse, and he just wasn't having a really, really good day.
You think he might have been a politician earlier in life? You know?
Maybe. And a little girl got off the bus from the Helen Keller School, and she wasn't having a great afternoon either. It was a tough afternoon for her as well. And as soon as she got on the horse, they seemed to understand each other.
Right.
And it was an amazing thing to watch how she calmed him down and he calmed her down. And then they went and as part of that program, there's a therapeutic part of that program, occupational therapy and working on muscle tone and following instructions and all kinds of things that are incorporated in that program. And just watching how that beautiful animal and that beautiful girl got together and helped each other through their tough moment was a really, really nice moment.
Yeah,
That's
there's
great.
a saying that there's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man.
Charlotte's raised horses or had horses all her, or not all her
And
life.
I find them that way.
So you understand?
Yes.
We've got a couple of callers hanging on. One of them, the line is burning up, smoking. We're going to get to him in just a minute. Your budget for the Institute is what, 80?
It's roughly an $82 million budget. Now, it does vary because the industries program is really very volatile. We make the majority of the money for that industries program by producing product for the military, for the federal government, and also for some private entities. So that is a real manufacturing business. That's about a $35 million manufacturing business. And it employs roughly 200 individuals who are blind and visually impaired. And if you haven't visited that program, you need to. That is a wonderful thing to see. We have great employees at the Alabama Industries for the Blind.
And you also have a training program. When they finish high school, they can go into a training program. We don't want them to mean anything. There's so many programs, we can't get them all on here tonight. But
Right. Folks know when they think about Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind, they think about the Alabama School for the Blind and the Alabama School for the Deaf and the Helen Keller School. But we also have the E.H. Gentry facility, and that's a rehabilitation program for adults. And really the whole goal of that program is to assist adults to live and work in the community of their choice. So if someone graduates high school and, for instance, maybe their vision changes or their hearing changes and they might need to learn some technology to be able to attend college, or maybe to keep their job. They need to learn how they can use their computer to continue in their job. Say they're an accountant, for instance, and they're not able to see the screen anymore. There are some technologies that we know about that we can offer to some folks. So that's the focus of that program, is to bridge the gap for folks who need just a little bit of training in order to maintain their independence.
Folks, I challenge you, if you've never had an opportunity to visit the Industry for the Blind or tour AIDB, Helen Keller School, contact Dr. Mascia or contact someone you may know at the school and say, hey, I want to tour the facility.
Please
take
do.
some time, take a couple hours or whatever, and maybe eat lunch out there at the Industry for the Blind or whoever. I guarantee you'll never be the same. I used to go out there more than I do now.
Never be the
same.
But
I always enjoy visiting the school, and I know a lot of the guys there, a lot of the ladies there, and it's just always an honor to be out there, and they know me, and it's just very heartwarming.
Don't miss the opportunity.
We've got a couple of callers here, Dr. Mascia.
Sure.
Hello, caller.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You got a question or comment?
Yeah, hey, Larry, this is Reverend Morris.
Hey.
I just wanted to give Dr. Mascia a plug right quick.
Reverend Morris, Hugh Morris. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Dr. Mascia, how you doing? I just wanted to say AIDB has always been a dynamic organization, but since you've been there, you put a face of compassion and fellowship on the institution, and I just want to say I'm proud that you're in that position.
Pastor
Amen.
Morris, I appreciate you calling. You're right on target.
Sure is.
Also, while you're there, you emailed me today. And I know it's a for-all piece, but you've shared with me that former federal judge U.W. Clemens is going to be the guest speaker at the Willie Farrier banquet in is October?
In October. Second Saturday in October. He's already committed to being our guest speaker.
That's great. We'll be talking more about that, and we'll have you on here promoting it. Also, don't forget tomorrow morning the breakfast at over on Greater Ebenezer Church on Scott Street.
Ebenezer, yeah.
Right.
No, Larry, that's got something to do with eating. I'm not gonna.
Hey, you can tell I ain't missed many of them lately.
That's right. And if I may, Pastor.
Y'all have a blessed evening. Hello, Charlotte. How you doing?
Hey, honey, good to hear you.
Pastor Martin, hold on just a second.
Yeah, Pastor, your words are gracious, and I appreciate them. Thank you so much. You know, I am only as good as the people around me, and I mean that sincerely. We have a great staff at AIDB, so it's easy to represent them.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you. Yeah, have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
You too.
Also, don't forget tomorrow the Dega Red Hatters under the auspices of Miss Carleva Widget and my good dear friend Miss Mildred Woods is working to make this parade tomorrow a success. It will start at noon, starting up there at the Save-A-Lot parking lot on the east end of Battle Street, coming down Battle Street. I'm sure it'll go around the square. But if you want to be a part of it and want to have a car or a truck or horses or whatever, $10 donation. That's the Dega Red Hatters parade tomorrow, Martin Luther King parade. And if you can be a part of this, of course, we mentioned the Unity Breakfast at Greater Ebenezer Church tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Let's see what we got here.
Try again. If you need...
Hello.
Hello, how y'all doing?
We are, Jeff, you need to speak slow when you start hollering y'all, because I'm not sure that Dr. Mascia has completely got y'all down yet.
Jeff knows that he has to speak very slowly to me.
He said, hello, Dr. Mascia.
Hi, Jeff, how are you?
This is Friday night to Helen Keller School, Alabama. And the reason I graduated from the Helen Keller School is there was not an athlete of the Special Olympics where I was in.
Olympics.
And the reason I want to bring this up because I was on track and field and all the other activities and all this in the Special Olympics.
You have participated in Special Olympics?
Champions. And the reason I was bringing that up because class of 92 when I started finishing at Helen Keller School.
Jeff, you did a good job, and I understand that you can break wood, break heads. You got a blue belt and a black belt and a green belt and white belt.
I'm a brown belt karate person right now on this here too. And I'm getting ready to test my first kid coming up on Valentine's morning.
What I'm going to do, Jeff, is hire you as my bodyguard. Some of these folks that gives me a hard time, I'm going to let you break their head.
I'll take care of that, Betty.
I appreciate it, Jeff. Yeah. Have you been to the Stampede restaurant lately, Jeff?
I've been out there Friday night.
Friday night. He said that. Did you see Shotgun Gideons from Clay County and all of his family in there? They was up there Friday night. Okay, Jeff.
I saw him down there at Shotgun.
Well, you can't help but see him. He weighs about 400 pounds now. He ain't never missed a meal.
Hey, can I give...
Now, the reason there was a person named Helen Keller School, now the name of that school is Helen Keller School.
Right. Dr. Mascia wants to ask you a question. Can you hold up a minute? Hold on.
Well, I just want to say that, Jeff, you represent AIDB so well. You make us proud. You're such a great employee at AIB. And I couldn't let you hang up without giving you a big, hearty Roll Tide.
Yes.
Did you hear?
I'm a big Roll Tide. I like Dr. Mascia.
Yeah, he's learned to say Roll Tide pretty good, hasn't he?
Yes. And starting with Dr. Mascia, can I make something to you?
Go ahead.
I'm on the Christmas committee.
You're on what kind of committee?
The Christmas committee.
Christmas committee.
Okay, that's great.
Helping these, I got these alumni people that were to graduate people from the Helen Keller. Well, it's true. I'm helping out with this fundraiser a lot.
Are you going to be in the Gong Show this time?
Oh, yeah.
I am.
My plan something there for the Gong Show. I don't know what it is, but I haven't heard nothing yet.
I'm going to be on there this time, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
Are you going to be in it?
I'm going to be in it.
Oh, my God.
But I ain't telling. I'm gonna do a strip act.
Oh my God! You need my help with that?
I am gonna be on it, sure enough. But I ain't telling you or nobody else what I'm gonna do. My wife don't.
I'll keep that a secret. That's all I can say.
Well, you'll have to keep it.
Unique up to the Gong Show.
You'll have to keep it a secret because you don't know. My wife don't even know what I'm gonna do. What we may do. What we may do, Jeff, is sell tickets. One that guesses what Larry Barton's going to do on the Gong Show wins the prize.
Oh, Lord.
You don't know. We'll wait and see.
Gotta go.
All right.
Roll Tide, Jeff.
Take care, Jeff.
Say that to Mascia.
You bet, bud.
That Jeff's all right.
Love Jeff.
You talking about a success now. Jeff is partially deaf, partially blind, and he went to Helen Keller School. He's amazing. You can tell him what your birth date is. Just that quick, he can tell you what day of the week it comes on. And he never forgets your birthday. He doesn't write it down or anything. Mm-hmm. You'll get a call from him. You'll get a card from him. It's amazing. It's amazing. But he is purchased at home, lives by himself, self-supporting. He's just an amazing success story. Thanks to AIDB, Helen Keller.
And thanks to hard work from Jeff. He works at the Alabama Industries for the Blind in the paper products division, and he's a
he knows everybody.
Employee. He does. He's a hard worker, and we're happy to have him.
Hello, caller. You got a comment or a question? Turn your TV down, please. Turn your TV down, please.
That's better?
That's good. Go ahead. You're trying to talk against your TV, and it's hard to do.
Okay.
Go ahead. Turn your TV down.
It's down. It's down, I think, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll tell our president that he's done a good job. He's done great for our school from AIDB. He's done great.
Yes.
I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. Is that Micah?
Do you work out there?
Micah.
Yeah.
Where do you work out there?
The Industry for the Blind.
Yeah, you don't have to give your name if you don't want to, but what do you do at Industry for the Blind?
I work in the brush shop.
In the brush shop?
Mm-hmm.
Broom shop, okay. Okay, I appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I work in the brush shop.
Okay, appreciate you calling. Bye-bye. The broom shop always fascinates me.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go out there years ago, Mr. Willie Farian, and you had a blind deaf guy, Pennington, Mr. Eugene Pennington. I believe his name was Eugene. But he was blind, deaf, and traveled around town, had his own place of business.
Right.
And to see these guys take those brooms, put that broom handle in that machine, take that broom straw and wrap it around that end, and then that wheel turns, putting that, not a metal, wire around that thing. Mm-hmm. I'd cut my hands all to pieces. And then to take that sharp knife and trim off the edges of that broom. It's amazing to watch these guys work.
We have folks, Larry, that are really, really good at it and really like doing it. What's so great about AIB is that we have a variety of work. And, folks who are blind and who have vision loss can do anything and everything. And so we try to match what folks really want to do and what they're good at to what we need to produce at the industry. So if folks want to work in the brush and mop shop, that's terrific. But if they want to do something else, sewing, or we have a toner cartridge, we assemble toner cartridges for a private company. We have all kinds of work that folks can do.
And they want to be productive. They really want
We all need to be productive.
Yes,
we as sighted people, and we don't mean it to be disrespectful, but we want to help the deaf. We want to help the blind across the street. They're very capable of getting across the street by themselves, I know, as I shared with you a while ago, Dempsey Bird. Everybody knew Mr. Dempsey Bird, great singer, and we were very close. And he shared with me one time, and I've often thought about this. He said they were in a restaurant. They was all sitting around the table, and the waitress came up, and she says, "What do you want, sir? What do you want, ma'am?" And got over to Dempsey and said, "What does he want?" Well, Dempsey said he used an adjective and said, "Why don't you ask me? I'm just blind. I know what I want, and I'm very capable of eating it when I get it." And I've thought about that a lot.
Right.
But we as sighted people and hearing people, and we certainly don't mean to be disrespectful or be demeaning, but we don't learn, we don't know how to deal with it.
I've been working on behalf of people who are deafblind and deafblind for over 30 years, and I still need to consciously think about that sometimes. You know, am I helping somebody because I just want to do a nice thing and help another human being, or am I helping them because I think they can't do it? And
That's normal.
I consciously think about that because helping folks just because you want to help someone is, we all do that. We all need help sometimes. But assuming that someone can't do it because of their disability is something that I just think it takes a little bit of thought. And we all have to think about that
We have
on
to
occasion.
think about it.
Don't forget all of our sponsors. CG will be open tomorrow all day. Don't forget Rehab First, McGuffey Healthcare. They're there for you 24/7 if you have any kind of rehab or need long-term care. Rehab First at McGuffey Healthcare in Gadsden is there for you.
Can I say a very special thanks to my friends at Professional Apothecary? They're so good to me.
And I will say this, and they said it was okay. Professional Apothecary Blake Harris has officially retired, folks.
But they're so special.
They are, and nothing is going to change except just the ownership. We'll still be doing business there, and we encourage you to keep on. We'll talk more about that later. Don't forget the parade, the breakfast tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Ms. Mary McGee, Ms. Betty Pugh, Mr. Eddie Tucker, all involved in this. Unity breakfast will be held Monday, January the 19th, 8 a.m. at the Greater Ebenezer Baptist Church over on Scott Street. And also the parade, Ms. Mildred Woods, Ms. Carleva Widget, who worked so hard to dig our Red Hatters. We'll be putting on this parade starting at noon on the north end of Battle Street. $10 if you want to get into the parade and be a part of it. You can do so. Go ahead.
You need you could wear a red hat too. You'd be cute in it.
I don't know about that
They won't let him
now.
in it though. They won't let him ride.
Benny used to make those snide remarks, and he's no longer with us.
Oh.
Dr. Mascia, it's just an honor to have you with us tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
We still got about a minute and a half or thereabouts. Have you got anything you'd like to share with the folks? Or
again, I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of our over 1,200 employees, and most important, the people that we serve. Again, I want to make it clear how much I appreciate. I'm speaking now to the staff at AIDB. I appreciate everything that you do every single day. You're a godsend to that institute and to the people we serve. And I know we're just going to keep moving forward and getting better at what we do, because the people that we serve can do anything and everything they want to do. And they just might need a little bit of assistance in getting there, but they can do it, and we want to help them to do that.
Dr. Mascia, we can't thank you enough for all everyone does. They're just very special to our folks in Talladega. They're very much a part of our city. And we've got a few seconds. If someone would want to go to work at the Institute, what do they need to do? Who do they make contact with?
The department, workforce
Caught you off guard, I'm sorry.
That's okay. The workforce department in Talladega is where you would want to contact. But if you can call my office, Miss Amanda's going to get mad, but 761-3200, and we can get you to the right people.
Right.
We thank you. We appreciate you watching us. And I tell you what, the first one that writes in or calls me and tells me what I'm going to be doing at the Gong Show, I'm going to take you out for a steak dinner. Gotta go. See you next week for another edition of In the Interest of the People.